Hello everybody, welcome into tonight's event, the Birthday Bash 65, presented by Evan Burke, live on Nerd TV. Thanks for trying, and with my partner in crime here in the booth, Stash, we're getting ready to watch some awesome modified racing tonight. Stash, what do you think is going to happen in this race tonight?
Man, being here at North Wilkesboro, this track is legendary. We've got an uphill battle going down the front stretch, if I remember right, and a downhill battle going down the back stretch. Nice high bank, wide corners. I think it's going to make for some awesome racing tonight.
Oh, I definitely agree. A track that is an old track but new for iRacing, so this track is always, every race that I've watched here has always put on a great show. I'm thinking it's going to be awesome tonight. We've got the big names of the Martin Sports Sunday Night Modifieds here tonight. Jeffrey Clifton obviously leading the points by a large margin over Aiden Hill, who I don't believe is going to be racing with us tonight, so that lead is only going to expand as we go on through tonight's race. It's going to be a good one. Stash, who you got for your pick for tonight?
Man, I'd love to see the 45 car of either Joseph Mitchell or even the 12 car of Jerry Mitchell. I'd love to see one of the Mitchell brothers take the win overall tonight. Number one of Miles Morse. Any of those three are going to be my picks for tonight.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I mean, those guys, they bring it every week. They grind it out, and I mean, I would love to see one of those guys win this race tonight.
Oh, without a doubt. Joseph got caught in a string of bad luck from the beginning of the season. Somehow he's always ended up right where he shouldn't be at a wrong moment, wrong time situation. But I think here at North Wilkesboro, it's going to be a little different for him. Jerry Mitchell, as we know, last week ended up with a podium of second place. I couldn't have been happier for the guy, honestly.
And I mean, that's huge momentum coming into a race like this, where racing is such a momentum type sport where you start having those good runs. I mean, those translate to better runs the next race. I think we'll start to see that maybe from Jerry tonight. And on the reverse side of things, you know, if you have some bad luck, I think Joe's luck turns around tonight. I think he's going to have a good run tonight. Been watching him a little bit in practice, and he's got some speed in that car.
That he does. As we look through the practice times right now, the 88 of Caden Tufts is sitting on top with a 17:07, followed closely behind by Jeffrey Clifton with a 17:13. These guys, they're laying down some laps. I'm seeing a lot of 17:1s and a handful of 17:2s. I think tonight's going to be pretty interesting, to say the least.
Super close times. I mean, it's super close through the whole top 10 here. It's only going to be, you know, better for the racing as we go through this thing. I mean, Caden, he's been fast the last few races, really consistent, so you expect to see him up front. And as we're seeing here with the 17:071 for his practice time, he's showing that he's got some speed for tonight. So he's going to be one of those guys to watch. I think Caden's going to be my pick to watch. Someone's got to pick the guy that has fast in practice, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, just about anybody would take a pick like that. Solid driver, always up front, you know, at minimum contending for at least a podium. Just an all-around. He is a driver, without a doubt.
And then you have his counterpart there that seems to find him on the track and race him all the time, Jeffrey Clifton. He's another guy who we should definitely keep an eye on tonight because he's going to be quick. And he's hungry.
Agreed. As looking through, do see a couple of new names, at least to me, as I wasn't here last week. The 90 of Ken Zeems, the 24 of Aiden Christensen. A couple of new drivers to me, so I can't wait to see what these guys pull off tonight. I already see them in the top 5 of practice times. I think it should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even Michael Newton, he's a new one to the series. He's sitting right there, right behind Jerry and Joe in the practice time. So, see what he can do for. So, of course, before we have the race, we have to say a big thanks to the sponsors, the people that make this happen here on Nerd TV and make this happen for this series. Obviously, we have Martin Sports, who is the official presenting series for the East Coast Modifieds. Martin Sports, it's a small company. They have awesome products. And if you want sim gloves, this is the place to get them. Sim gloves, jerseys, shirts, anything like that, Martin Sports can definitely bring it for you. These guys, small family-run business, great to support family business, and you can support them right now by going on martinsports906.com and use the code SUPERNERD for 25% off. How can you go wrong with that, Stash? 25% off?
Oh, dude, you absolutely can't.
For the second sponsor, we've got Admin Box. If you are an admin in any series on iRacing here, this is the pinnacle of what you need to run a perfect league. These guys make an HID controller. It's designed specifically for iRacing, so it's a plug-and-play system. Just make sure iRacing's up and running, and that thing is going to be the perfect thing for you to control all of your iRacing commands. And it's lighted in the back. It has lighted color buttons. They'll change the functions. It's a beautiful product that these guys have really brought to the table to help these guys that run leagues. And then we have the Stay Tuned podcast. If you guys want some laughs, you like some sports, you like just kind of having something on in the background that you can really connect with, these guys are the ones. It's a podcast that was started in 2016 by two friends with the purpose of producing a sports show like no other. These guys cover weekly NFL, NHL, MLB, NBA, college football, as well as covering any combat news from UFC, Bellator, and even bare knuckle boxing. These guys cover it all. They do a fantastic job of making the show the great show that it is. And then, of course, we have our Nuditudes partners, iRacing, iFlag. These guys are the race marshalling lightboard system. Have you ever been racing and your spotter says outside, inside, and you've messed it up? Well, what you need is an iRacing iFlag setup. These guys, they have lights that you can set up around your whole entire rig that will flash based on cautions or green flags, or for cars on the inside or outside. It can help you out immensely. There's nothing better than having an audio and a visual cue to go by when you're racing. I mean, it's an advantage. Why wouldn't you want it during racing? You can use the promo code SUPERNERD for 15% off for that piece of equipment. And then finally, we have Butt Kicker. These guys, one thing that iRacing and sim rigs lack in general is that feel in the seat feeling. Well, Butt Kicker brings that to your rig with their equipment. These guys will help you get the sim racing immersion that you need and you desire to help you be faster. If you can feel it in the seat, you know what the car's doing at all times. This is something that if you want to really be competitive in iRacing, you should definitely go on to buttkicker.com and enter NerdTV for 20% off and order yours today.
Now that we've got sponsors and everybody we've given thanks to, these guys are finishing up their last few laps of practice. They will be running into qualifying here shortly. Taking a look at track temperatures. Right now we are partly cloudy, 72 degrees, with a track temp of 90, which is actually a little cooler than when I saw it last. We've cooled off by about 10 degrees. I've seen 100, 101, 102 degrees on this track just a short time ago. Jason, as an asphalt driver, how does track temps affect these cars?
Well, it can really affect the handling, because the one thing with the track temperature is it's in direct contact with your tires at all times. So your track temp is going to really make the car swing one way or the other as that track cools down or heats up. In this case, it's cooling down. The track is going to get a little bit faster. The tires are going to be gripping up on the track a little bit more. It actually creates for some really good racing. It can open up some racing lines that can help some of these guys make some moves that you may not be able to make when the track temperature is, as you said, above 100. So these drivers are looking at this track temp and they're going, all right, racing is going to be good tonight.
Well, I can't wait to see what these guys do. We see the flagman has the checkered flag out for practice. Qualifying is underway now. And let's see what we get for starting lineups for these heat races.
Well, and that's going to bring us with the checkered flag displayed. We're going to get these ugly mugs off the screen, and we're going to get these beautiful modified race cars on track here at North Wilkesboro Speedway for tonight's event.
Taking a look on screen now, we've got one car already into the wall on their first lap of qualifying.
That's definitely not something you want.
That does not quite help.
No, you want to keep that thing pointed in the right direction without any damage if you really want to be able to post a fast time. Because, I mean, with a race that's only 65 laps tonight, Stash, you don't have a lot of time to move up towards the front, especially at a track like this where passing can be very difficult. And these guys are going to want to start as far up as they can.
No doubt. 65 laps not being a lot of time it's funny coming from a dirt world where we get 30 lap sprints compared to these guys 65 laps. To me, it seems like all the time in the world. You get to lay back a little bit, watch things unfold, but to these asphalt guys, this is a sprint, as a lot of them are used to 100, 150, even 200 laps, and at much larger tracks at that.
Yeah, and I mean, this track, North Wilkesboro, was actually built all the way back in May of 1947. So the track extremely old, asphalt's extremely old, abrasive on tires. So tonight is going to be interesting at some of these guys that start back in the pack. Are they going to burn those tires up too much, trying to work their way to the front? Another reason why qualifying tonight is going to be super important for the start of this race.
Looking at the times that have been posted thus far, looks like Caden Tufts will be sitting on the number 1 spot as he qualifies with another 17.0. Just a 0.2 slower than his practice time from a 17.071 to a 17.099, but still the only driver to post a 17.0.
There are flames coming out the back of that car on those 2 rear tires. That guy is flying. He's got a rocket ship tonight. I mean, unbelievable how fast Caden has been throughout practice. My question is, he can be fast in practice, he can be fast in qualifying. Is it going to translate to the race tonight?
Very interesting. Man.
Miles
he
Morris.
found the afterburners for sure.
Look at that. Miles Morris, P3. As I say that, I might as well just not comment on anything because he gets pushed back to P4, but still a nice time for Miles Morris with that 17.199.
Miles is looking pretty strong tonight. I really hope to see this guy do great. Such a genuine, kind-hearted guy. He'll give you room, but he will race you. He will race you hard. He is fantastic to race with, and I really just hope to see a really good race out of him tonight.
Another guy that has been really, really good. Started the series is Tyler Green. He had a slow start back in the Atlanta Legends Oval, but he has really picked it up over the last couple of races. He's really bringing it to these guys and showing that he has some speed to be competitive up here in the top 5, top 3, and really maybe even fights for some wins in the coming future here. The brothers can't get away from each other.
Believe we've only got maybe 5 cars left to qualify. I'm curious to see what they're going to do, whether they decide to post a lap and let the chips fall where they may, or if they stay unqualified and actually ride around the back so they can, because it looks like a lot of the newer guys that have not qualified yet. I'm curious to see if they're just going to lay back and see how some of these guys operate and how they're going to be taking the line so they can make their moves from there as the race progresses.
Yeah, and I mean, they might want to take a step back and just kind of see what, who they're racing against. When these guys jump into a league, they don't know these guys. A lot of these guys like Jeffrey Clifton, Caden Tufts, Miles Morris, Torman, Jerry and Joseph Mitchell, these guys have raced around each other. They know what these guys' tendencies are. They know if, they like to run the bottom. They know if they like to swing up high on exit. These guys don't really know that. So they're going to probably sit back, see what these guys do, maybe even try to learn a thing or two, and hopefully, use that in their race.
And as qualifying comes down to its closing seconds, it looks like that is what they're going to do. They're just going to line up in their heat races, take some time, learn, and make their moves there.
And with that, that's gonna bring us into our starting grid for heat number 1. Stash, if you want to take it away and tell everybody who is who and where they're starting here in heat number 1.
Absolutely. On the pole for heat race number 1, we have the 88 car of Caden Tufts. To his outside, we will have the number 5 of Tyler Green. Sitting in third, we'll have the 24 of Aiden Christensen. In fourth, we'll have the 6 car of Mark Swain. Sitting in 5th place will be the 90 car of Ken Zeems. And rounding out the field for heat race number 1 will be the 149 of Nathan Bryant, sitting in 6th.
I'm excited, Stash. I'm ready to see these cars go at it.
You and me both. North Wilkesboro, just an overall awesome track, a lot of history. A lot of these drivers, as we've seen throughout the season, they are not afraid to really push some limits. These guys will run wheel to wheel. We have seen those sticker savers being used.
Oh, all the time.
Man, it should be a really good one tonight.
I want to see some bumping, banging. I want to see these guys all over each other during this heat race to really get the excitement going, get us ready for that feature race. I mean, that's what we want to see. We come to see some racing.
I don't think that'll be an issue. These guys, like I said, they will push some limits and they will find a way through a hole.
As we are 1 to green here, lights are out on the pace truck. We're taking a half a lap before these guys are going to be turned loose for their heat race.
Any predictions for Heat 1, Jason?
Well, I think Heat 1 with Caden Tufts, I think it's going to be a pretty quick one. I think there's going to be a lot of laps ticked off really fast, some fast lap times of practice. I think Caden's going to click it off here and come out with the win in Heat number 1. They come into the zone. Green flag is in the air. We are racing for Heat number 1 at North Wilkesboro. Caden
already
Tufts.
out to the early lead. We have the 88 of Caden Tufts. Following closely behind will be the 24 of Aiden Christensen with Tyler Green in that 5 car just to his outside. And I don't believe that outside line is going to prevail today.
No, that's one thing I noticed there on that start, that outside lane. Tyler Green, he was stuck on that outside. He could not get that car wound up. We got a car in the wall. Looks like Christensen in the wall in the back straightaway.
Wow, already.
That's going to bring him right back into the clutches of Tyler Green and Caden Tufts. He is loving this. He is saying, bye-bye, I'll take my P1. See you later, boys. You guys have some fun down there in turn 1 and 2. I'm on the back straightaway already.
Yep, just like you said, coming into 3 and 4 now, Caden Tufts will lead us all the way into lap number 4 with a huge gap over second place of, looks like Aiden Christensen still just opening up that gap.
Yeah, he was super sideways on that second lap, slid up, made some contact with the wall. Not sure if it hurt the suspension on that car at all. Still looks like he's able to maintain speed, but he's going to have to find another gear if he wants to catch that 88 car.
Oh, without a doubt, that 88 car, like we've seen already, he is fast, and he is going to be very tough tonight. Like you said earlier, you can be fast in practice, you can be fast in qualifying. How fast are you during the actual race?
Contact, we got the 5 around. You were on board here on Nerd TV. You saw that live. As the 5 car spun him around, looks like he's going to give the position back.
Definitely some interesting racing already in this first heat race of, I think we have 3 tonight.
You know, I got to say, that was a humble move by Nathan Bryant to give that position back to the 5 after he got into him. But Tyler Green, he is under pressure all over the place. It's like a different driver of a lap for this guy.
I mean, North Wilkesboro, like we've said, it's a difficult track. I do remember hearing that we have different bankings. It's an uphill slope on one stretch and a downhill slope on the other. So it's, you know, it's not a typical track that we're used to where everything's just about flat. It could be playing a huge factor into the drive of these cars.
Yeah, and as we've talked about, Stash, on previous broadcasts here, is that line that these guys run of, you know, right on the edge of out of control, and it's going to be whoever can stay on that edge without stepping over it who's going to be successful in tonight's race, because all it takes is one step out. This track's not very wide. Slide up the racetrack and make contact with the wall.
That it does not, as Caden Tufts will cross the line, take the win in heat number 1, sideways into turn number 1.
Style. He's got some style points on that one.
Jason, would you like to run us through the finish of heat race number 1?
So the finish of heat race number 1, we got Caden Tufts. He took the win in that first heat race. And then obviously we had Aiden Christensen, who finished second in that. Tyler Green finished third. We had Nathan Bryant finished fourth. Mark Swain finished fifth. And Ken Zeems finished sixth. And we'll turn it over to you for the starting grid for heat number 2.
On the pole of heat race number 2, we will have the 2 car of Amir Salah. To his outside, the number 1 car of Miles Morse. Third place will hold Jerry Mitchell in the 12 car. Fourth place will be Andrew Major in the 61. Fifth place will be Brad Carpenter. However, I don't believe he actually took a start. And rounding out our field tonight in 6th will be the 98 of Michael Newton.
All right, Stash. So you got 2 of your picks in this one. You can only pick one. Who you got?
Well, Miles is already at a slight disadvantage having that outside. Jerry has the inside. He's got a clear view of the leader. I think I'm going to take Jerry on this one.
Yeah, I mean, like we saw in that first race there, that outside line, it just could not get going. But, Miles could surprise us here. And I just want to shout out to Miles and Jerry here in this race. They got the Nerd TV logos on their cars. Big shout out to them. Thank you for supporting Nerd TV.
Not to mention, both of them are running Martin Sports as well.
They got good race gloves over there, I heard.
That they do. I can attest to that one personally. Fantastic gloves. I was a non-believer. Pacetrack dives into the pits. We are going to take the green flag. Miles with a really solid restart, or with an initial start.
Ooh,
he might
actually
go. Be able to cut down and take the lead over the two.
That was tight. Wow, that was a tight race off of turn number 2 there, but Miles is going to come away with the lead, taking a look back at Amir behind him. Unbelievable move for Miles. I mean, we were talking about the high side not being able to make it work on a start. We got a huge flipping wreck down into turn number 1. Oh.
Wow, I believe that was Jerry. He got involved in that. Nope, not Jerry.
Gonna get a Nerd TV replay here because that one was impressive.
That was definitely a wild one. Believe, man, I don't even know who got all wrapped up in that. Oh, that would be the 60 or the 98 car of Michael Newton.
Wow. All I know is I looked down at the racetrack and I saw the underside of a car and I said, well, that's not supposed to happen.
No, usually you don't get to see the underside. Dirt Sky Hospital, I reckon.
As we saw the battle for the lead there starting to heat up a little bit. They were both sideways on the front straightaway. 2-car really trying to push it to get back up to Miles here.
Miles has a fast car. He's looking real good out in that top spot right now. Followed behind is the 2-car of Amir Salah, and then Jerry Mitchell in that 21 car, I believe he's showing right now. Just working on that gap.
Yeah, Jerry has eaten into it a little by little here to try to get up to Amir Salah here. He's working at it fairly well to get to the back bumper. He's not super sideways either, which is pretty good. He's making up time while being, in total control of that car. These 2 guys on the front, they're flipping, sliding all over the place on the front straightaway. Riding on board with Jerry here.
Taking a look at it, track temperatures have already changed and continuing to drop. Track is down to 87 degrees from the 90 that we saw in practice and qualifying.
So what do you expect to see with that temp stash? What do you expect to see with that coming down for the racing in this third and final heat?
Right up until you explained it, I actually had my theories backwards. Being the dirt guy, I really don't get to see this too often. I would have thought a higher temperature on the track leads to a little stickier of a tire and better grip. But as you said, track temps dropping actually provides a better racier track. So, man, I don't even know what I'm doing.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But all I know is when I'm running at night races, it seems like the track gets quicker and quicker. So during the night, it is a little colder. As this battle for the lead has heated up, but that's going to be it. Miles Morse came away with the win in heat number 2. Beautiful drive by Miles in that race.
Incredible drive. That restart on the outside was fantastic.
Yeah, he dove it down in there, was able to clear him off of turn 2. That's something we didn't see in that first heat. And the results for heat number 2, we got Miles Morse finishing first, Amir Salah finishing second. Third place, we have Jerry Mitchell. In the 4th position, we have Michael Newton. And then we have Andrew Major and Brad Carpenter rounding out our field. Stash.
For heat race number 3, it looks like we're going to have the 15 car of Jeffrey Clifton on the pole. To his outside will be the 31 car of Jacob Torman. Sitting in third will be the 45 of Joseph Mitchell. To his outside will be the number 4 of Liam Atwood. And, well, I guess 5th place would have been you, but you decided, you know what, the booth seems better tonight. How about it?
The booth does seem better tonight, especially with how tight and crazy that the 2 heat races that we've seen have been. I think I'm a little safer up here. I think this is a little bit more of a safer area for me to be right now.
Man, the few laps that I've got to drive these cars, they are wild, to say the least. It was definitely a whole new learning experience. I'm starting to get into the trucks more, but these modifieds, they're wild. Kind of enjoyable.
They are wild. They got the big tires on them. You feel like you're Superman when you're driving these things, but I'll tell you what, you are not Superman when you're driving one of these things. They will slip out from under you just as fast as any other vehicle.
That they will. They will throw you around, and they don't apologize for it.
Yeah, Jeffrey Clifton, who is our points leader heading into tonight with 208 points, 2 wins on the season. He's got an average start of 4th, average finish of 3rd. That's pretty good for Jeffrey. See if he can keep that momentum going for tonight. See if he can get win number 3 and make it a hat trick on the season for that 15.
We need to not forget that we do have a top 5 invert after these heat races.
Right.
So winning the first heat race does not put you in the lead for the feature tonight. Again, that top 5 invert shake things up just a little bit more, make it a little more interesting.
So you're saying the celebration is short for a heat race win?
Green flag.
Let's
green
not
flag.
get premature with it.
Green flag is out. We are
Go
racing
ahead,
in heat number 3. Oh, man. Yeah, you can't celebrate too much when you get a win and then you're going to be starting. Oh, man, we're starting behind all those guys I just beat.
The 15 car of Jeffrey Clifton looks like he's going to lead us to lap 1. Joseph Mitchell contending for 2nd place against the 31 of Jacob Torman. Just riding right on the bumper.
Yeah, these 3 are actually staying pretty close together. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting Jeffrey to jump out to that early lead and just extend, but Torman is keeping him honest here with a little bit of a higher entry down into turn 1. He's able to cut through the center there and really get a good run off, as you see, into the wall a little bit. That's going to hurt him.
Definitely, that allows the 45 of Joseph Mitchell to take the inside, and it looks like he's going to complete the path 4 as they come around and take lap number 4.
Nice move by Joe. That was a move that, an opportunity move. He saw that the 31 had an issue, took advantage of it, and now he's in that 2nd place position. But it looks like Torman, he's starting to work him back over as he's looking to the inside of Joe coming off of turn number 4.
Now all Joe has to do is keep his eyes on the prize and see what he can do to reel in that 15 car of Clifton, as Clifton has a pretty sizable lead right now. Coming around, taking lap 6, we're just over halfway of heat number 3.
Interesting fact right now of Jeffrey Clifton, he just ran close to what Caden Tufts ran for his pole lap on that last lap there at a 17:09.6.
This track is definitely getting racier as the night progresses. Track temps still dropping down to 84 degrees. You might be right. I do believe it provides a better track as the temps cool down.
Taking a look at the battle between Joseph and Jacob Torman here. We got these 2 guys not letting each other get away. Torman's still there. Joe's got to maintain that gap, he's got to keep looking out the front windshield, not look in the rear windshield. Everything is out the front right now. I think Joe will drive away, but as I say that, the 31 looking underneath him, not going to be able to complete the pass or even get up next to him into turn number 1.
Joe does get a nice run off of turn number 4. But 1 and 2, he looks to struggle just a little bit. As we see him take a little bit different approach, running that real low line just off of 4. It's going to allow for a nice run up top, but I don't know if it'll be enough.
Looking to the outside is Jacob Torman still there. Joe's got to hold true. We're on the last lap here. This is for 2nd position. Torman looking to the inside. He's not going to have enough, and that's going to be the checkered flag for heat number 3. Jeffrey Clifton, your winner.
Finishing results for heat race number 3. Just as my iRacing decides to swap screens, there we go. We will have the 15 car of Jeffrey Clifton winning heat race number 3. Joseph Mitchell in the 45 will take 2nd. 3rd place will go to the 31 of Jacob Torman. 4th place will hold the number 4 car of Liam Atwood.
And now that the warm-up has begun, we've got a good taste of what the racing is going to be like tonight with these 3 heats. We're going to take it to a commercial break here on Nerd TV. We'll be back in a minute.
You want to be the best. You can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello everybody, welcome back to North Wilkesboro Speedway. We're running the Birthday Bash 65 presented by Evan Burke tonight. We're getting ready. we are here. We're ready to go. Heat races are over. Cars are gridding up right now. And with that said, we're going to take you to the grid. Stash, take it away.
On the pole for tonight's feature event, we will have the number 2 car of Amir Sala. To his outside, we'll have the 24 of Aiden Christensen. Sitting in third, we will have the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton. In fourth place will be the number 1 of Miles Morse. Fifth place will host the 88 car of Caden Tufts. To his outside will be the 45 car of Joseph Mitchell starting in 6th. 7th place will have the 5 car of Tyler Green. 8th place will have the 12 car of Jerry Mitchell. 9th place will be the 31 of Jacob Torman. Rounding out your top 10 will be the 149 car of Nathan Bryant. Starting in 11th, we will have the 98 car of Michael Newton. 12th place will have the 4 car of Liam Atwood. 13th will be the 6 car of Mark Swain. 14th will be the 61 car of Andrew Major. 15th will be the 90 car of Ken Zeems. And 16th will be the number 3 car of Brad Carpenter. Again, I do not believe he is taking a start tonight. It is showing you, Jason, as 15th, and we all know where you are tonight.
I'm certainly not in a modified.
Definitely not a modified tonight.
Pace trucks coming around. It's going to be 1 to green here in the Birthday Bash 65. Everybody wish Evan a happy birthday. His birthday is tomorrow, we were told, before the top of the broadcast, so wish him a happy birthday. This is his gift from Nerd TV to him.
Looks like if my math is right, and by no means am I good at math, I believe we have 15 cars starting this feature tonight. Man, it's stacked field. I think it's going to be nice.
It is a stacked field. We've seen fields smaller than this in a lot of races, but this one was a big one, and here we go. Turn 3, turn 4, turning to see the start and finish line. The flag stand with the green flag in the hand, and it is waving. We are green in the Birthday Bash 65.
That outside row took a nice jump. Aiden Christensen still running wheel to wheel with the 2 car of Amir Saleh, but he takes the lead as they dive down into turn number 3.
We've got a yellow. It's Jeffrey Clifton, and it's a lot of cars.
Oh, that is a big one.
We've got 2 cars upside down. And we're going to get a replay of that one for all you viewers, because that was the big one at North Wilkesboro.
I don't even know where to start with that one.
Oh, Miles Morse just getting into the 15, and that sent everybody for a ride.
Miles Morse caught up in it. Jerry Mitchell, Joseph Mitchell.
Caden Tufts.
Major. Wow.
Major news from pit lane. Caden Tufts coming down on pit lane. He's got smoke rolling out from the back of that 88 machine. Not how he wanted to start this race tonight.
Oh, and it appears Miles came down just a little bit too close, and Netcode took over, sending the 15 straight into the wall, pinching Miles with it. Just about every car but the top 2, I think, was involved in that one.
Yeah, there was a lot of cars in that one. And that one fast repair for Caden Tufts and all these other guys that were involved in that, Jeffrey Clifton, Jerry Mitchell, Joe Mitchell, these guys are going to have to race really, they're going to have to pick and choose what they do here. One mistake, and you can be out of the race. You have that one fast repair, you've used it on lap 3. That can really change the way that you look at a race. I know personally, Stash, I don't know about you, if you have a fast repair and you use that right off the bat, that's your safety net. That safety net's gone.
Yeah, it's tough. I took the start in a podium 500, and the only thing I could think of is save that fast repair, because I know for a fact somewhere along the lines I'm gonna need it, and I'm probably gonna need it when it counts the most.
Well, it's a strategy, right? You know, these guys wreck. These guys have issues on track. Maybe they forget to uncheck their fast repair when they have minor damage. And then you have the upper hand. A crash happens, you can be more aggressive. because you have your fast repair still. These guys got a race, very mild here. As we've got another look at it here on the Nerd TV replay, Miles Morris, Jeffrey Clifton's accident here. Just a little bit of contact, and that sent both of them for a ride, and unfortunately, that took out a lot of good cars tonight.
Miles Morse and Joseph Mitchell both will have to take a tow back to the pits as they were both stuck on their roof as the unfortunate little turtles of this race.
Yeah, once these things get flipped over, they don't like to right themselves.
No, they do not. They do not do that very well at all.
I mean, you got to think, these guys they just finished their heat. They're excited to get going in this main. Maybe just pushing it a little too hard, Stash?
Man, that one's even a tough call. I wouldn't even say pushing too hard. I did see a little bit of netcode, which for those of you that don't know, netcode is a space of prediction where iRacing is trying to assume where you're going to be versus where they're going to be. And apparently, we're going to take a single file restart. I didn't realize we were going already. Aiden Christensen will take the start over Amir Saleh and open up a little bit of a gap for himself.
Look at this 88 car. He is on a mission right now. I talked about maybe playing it safe now that you've used that fast repair. I don't think the message got to the 88 because he is flying right now.
He might have been one of the very few to have just caught it enough where he didn't see fast repairs necessary. He might have just had a little bit of damage that he could get fixed without using that fast repair at all.
Either way, this guy is flying right now. He's already to the back bumper, the 49. I mean, unbelievable run right now for him.
Nathan Bryant holding that low line. Caden Tufts looking to see where he can get around him, just kind of following for the time being. I'm willing to bet he makes his move just a little later on unless the 49 makes a mistake somewhere.
And that's the thing, that we saw the top line be dominant on restarts, but that low lane is definitely the lane as we see him make a move to the inside of Nathan Bryant. Can he make it stick, or can Bryant defend on the top side? Looks like he'll defend it, go down the back straightaway.
I'm watching Aiden Christensen now. I'm not sure if it's a race strategy, and it looks like he's going to do it again. He's going to be running that high side and then diming off the corner, kind of clipping off turn 2 a little bit, and it looks like it's working for him really well as he takes the low line approach through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that might be something to maybe try to save the tires a little bit, make that car so it doesn't have to push as much. The lap times are still relatively similar with the guys behind him, maybe a tenth better here or there, but might be a tire conservation type move.
It's definitely a different line than what we've seen in all the heat races previous, and I don't believe I've seen him run that line in practice.
No, I mean, we talk about gambling and whatnot. You don't show your hand until, you need to, and maybe he's not showing his hand completely in practice, and he's actually found some speed with the top of the racetrack there. We've got a car on the wall in the front straightaway, looking like it's going to be Torman. He's going to get to the bottom of the racetrack and not have any other incident with everybody, but he's going to lose a lot of positions after getting into the outside wall there.
And it looks like the 88 car of Caden Tufts will successfully get around the 49 of Nathan Bryant. And that moves him, I believe, into 3rd position now and working on closing up to the number 2 of Amir Salah.
Another battle that we should keep an eye on here is the battle for the lucky dog. A lot of those guys that were involved in that accident are a lap down, including Jeffrey Clifton, Tyler Green, and Jerry Mitchell. These guys are a lap down, and Jacob Torman is also now a lap down. The battle for that lucky dog could be very important for some of these guys to get back on the lead lap.
Oh, without a doubt, everybody's going to be looking for, any kind of position that puts them closer to the lucky dog or being the lucky dog. And as it looks right now, 7th on through 12th is all a lap down. So we've only got really a 6-car battle for the win.
Yeah, what Jeffrey's hoping for right now is he wants that caution. He wants the caution early. He wants to get that lap back, reset, be able to move his way back up towards the front like he was trying to do when he was unfortunately caught up in that crash.
We've got another wreck into turn 1. The 98 car of Michael Newton. I believe he collected the outside wall. He sure did. Outside wall off of turn 4, and it put him on his lid.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Jeffrey Clifton, that's the caution he needed. He's back in this thing now.
So that puts us up to 7 cars. It might
Here's a good
actually
look.
put us back down to 6 due to caution laps. All these pace laps will count. Taking a look at the Nerd TV replay.
Seeing a lot of upside down.
Unfortunately.
I'm thinking that one's going to be a tow back to pit lane.
That it will. So that does put Michael Newton 1 lap down thus far. 5 cars on the lead lap. Jeffrey Clifton, who is looking to be our lucky dog, should be getting it here soon, if not already.
And that's what these guys did not want to see that were riding up front. We've got Jeffrey Clifton who came down and got that fast repair and, more importantly, fresh tires. So now Jeffrey Clifton has a new car. He's probably going to be under his bonnet because he wants to get back up there and race for the race win. And he's got some fresh Hoosiers on that modified car there.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I know we have a sponsor of the Lucky Dog. That will be the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Lucky Dog. And it does appear that Jeffrey Clifton should be getting it. As he already did get it. My bad. He did get the Lucky Dog. Brought to you by Stay Tuned Sports Podcast.
That means Jeffrey's got to listen to that, and everybody here watching on Nerd TV should also tune in to the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast this week.
Looks like Jeffrey Clifton, now that he's got his Lucky Dog, he's going to cruise down into the pits and either make an adjustment or make some repairs while he's got time. Because we see a lot of cars down pit road right now. The number 1 of Miles Morse, the 45 of Joseph Mitchell, the 98 of Michael Newton, and the 60 car of Andrew Major, all down pit road at this point in time.
Looks like Jeffrey Clifton got right side tires on the 15 machine. Is that a power play? Is that a strategy play for the 15? He now has a tire advantage on these guys. This might turn out to be pretty good for Jeffrey if he can get up there and work his way through the traffic. Like we talked about in the pre-race show, this race is only 65 laps long. You don't have a lot of time to get up there. And they're getting double wide right now to go back green, so some of these guys on pit lane gotta hurry up.
You know, in my experience taking right side tires in the trucks at Auto Club, it did not play in my favor as my truck was loose as could be.
Oh, it changes the balance big time on a race car when you put new tires on one side and old tires on the other. But here we go.
Confirm.
We are going to go back green flag racing. We got Caden Tufts on the outside of Aiden Christensen. Green flag in the air. We're back racing here on the Birthday Bash 65.
Caden getting an excellent restart on that outside line. Still holding wheel to wheel. Looks like he's going to be able to make the pass on the 24 of Aiden Christensen and take the lead into lap number 26.
That's not what the field wanted to see, because that 88 car was hooked up in practice, and it was hooked up in qualifying and in his heat race. So now he's got clean air, and he's going to be gone. See you later, going to another zip code, says the 88 car of Caden Tufts.
Well, don't look now, but in 4th place, we see the 90 car of Ken Zeems, who has come back from 16th place. I don't believe he got caught up in that first lap incident. He should still have his quick repair, and he's working his way through the field now, as he's pretty well locked onto the bumper, the 49 car.
Yeah, Ken is really impressive here. He's driving a very conservative race here, but he's able to pick up these spots and maintain the speed that he has and kind of hang on to these top guys. And I'm going to be honest, the 88 isn't extending that lead out as quick as I thought he was going to.
That might be just a little bit of that right side tire play. Still cool outside tires, slightly worn inside tires. It might have upset the car just enough that he can't drive it as hard as he wants to yet.
Aiden Christensen, he is under some heavy pressure here for the 3rd position. These guys are bouncing off each other, and we got one spinning into turn number 1.
Caution is out.
That we do. I'm trying to get a hold of. There we go.
Like
it looks like
Tyler
the
Green.
5 car.
And I think that's actually going to be pretty unfortunate for Tyler Green being involved in that, because it looks like Torman is more than likely going to get the lucky dog now.
Yep, just a kind of pretty nice shot in the left rear from the 2-car of Amir Salah going into turn number, I believe that is 1 and 2. It sends him around to the inside.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Tyler. You know, he was in a good spot to get that lap back. And unfortunately now he's not going to be in that position to get that Stay Tuned podcast. Lucky dog. It's going to be Jacob Torment.
What an unfortunate break. As we do see the 31 of Jacob Torment, he will get that Stay Tuned Sports podcast, Lucky Dog, as he makes his way around the field now to get caught back up to the tail. That brings us up to 7 cars on the lead lap. Definitely a lot of controversy in the first half of this race already. We've already seen the big one. We've seen a left rear shot and 3 cars on their lids today.
Yeah, these guys have been racing really hard right from the drop of the green. But Jerry Mitchell is now in position for that lucky dog. So, you know, these, I think, as cautions breed cautions. I mean, these guys will start to get back on the lead lap, and we could potentially have, there's 3 cars that are 1 lap down all the way to Tyler Green. We could potentially have 10 cars on the lead lap if we get 3 cautions by the end of this one.
Like you said, cautions breeding cautions. These caution laps, they do count towards the lap count of this race. It only puts the pressure on the drivers that little bit more, and I don't know, man. They're running pretty hard. They know that the laps are ticking down. It's just a matter of staying in the helmet and running your race.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get in your own head. You know, you start thinking about the end of the race right now. Your brain wanders a little bit. You know, if you're Caden Tufts right now and you get out to that 1-2 second lead, you got to stay in it. You can't get complacent. You can't think, you know, I got this lead. I got this all day long. I've thought that before. I'm sure you've thought that before. And bad things happen when you get complacent in racing.
Oh, 100%. 1 second you have, you know, a 5-second lead, and then the next thing you know, you're in the wall, and that lead is now, you know, 0.2 of a second, and you go, oh, shit.
There goes all my hard work
a little bit.
right out the window. Doubling them up here. Pace truck will peel off this time. Going to be going back green flag racing on lap 35. Caden Tufts is your leader. And we got Nathan Bryant. He's sitting there second. Christensen is in third on that bottom lane. And then the guy we've been talking about a little bit, Ken Zeems, on the outside in position number 4. Truck is going to peel off here. They'll come in. They'll see the green flag. Caden is away. Beautiful start for the 88. And Christensen's a big loser on that one.
Without a doubt, that inside lane did not get the restart they wanted. A little bit of contact made between Aiden Christensen and Ken Zeems. That's going to shuffle both of them back just a little bit off of the leaders. They will still stay third and fourth place respectively. But that allowed the 15 to be right on the bumper of the 90 of Ken Zeems.
I was just going to say, look who has creeped back into the picture. It's the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton, that green and black machine who never goes away. He's always competitive, and he's looking up there like, hey, I can win this race. There's still plenty of time for me to get up there.
Without a doubt, just staying out of the accidents that are bound to come as we come to lap number 39 of 65 in this race. Like you said, there's still time.
Jeffrey's just got to work his way around these two in front of him. These guys racing side by side is not doing him any favors in his sliding down the track. Not doing him any favors by these guys racing side by side, and he almost got into the 24 there, but he's going to clear him.
Aiden Christensen dropping back just a little bit off of the pace as we saw the 90 car of Ken Zeems and the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton getting around him.
Yeah, like I said, he was
just a little bit.
He was the big loser on that restart. I mean, I don't know if he didn't get going or if he just kind of missed the start a little bit, but that was detrimental to him. He was P3 and now he's all the way back to P5 right now. You know, This is a short track. These cars really don't have a lot of dirty air, but it does play a factor. I mean,
All right, man. Caution is
we
out.
get a caution on the
is out.
racetrack as well. Not sure where it is, Stash.
I'm currently looking myself. It is going to be the 21, or rather the 21 on car, 12 iRacing of Jerry Mitchell.
Oh,
As he gets into the wall just out of 4.
and that's another guy. He was right in line for that lucky dog position.
Floats it up just a little too high, gets with the 2 car of Amir Salah, and that hurts. A lot of smoke from the 21 of Jerry Mitchell.
We're seeing that tonight where these lucky dog guys, the guys that are right in line to get that lucky dog, maybe pushing a little bit too hard to stay in that position and get that lap back. You know, you dangle $1 in front of somebody, they might try to grab it. I think that's what some of these guys are running into here.
As it sits right now, it looks like the number 4 car of Liam Atwood will get the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Lucky Dog as he comes around the field and will rejoin at the tail of the field.
Looks like the 2 also is going to have to take that fast repair that he has from that contact there. He's being shown 1 lap down at the moment.
Intense battles going on everywhere.
You know, the lucky dog is always like a race within a race, right? I mean, you got these guys that are trying to get back into this thing, that are racing really hard, and sometimes if you race too hard, you make mistakes. You might try something you wouldn't normally try because that desperation, that want to get on the lead lap is there, and I think that's kind of what we're running into with some of these cautions. They seem to be right around that area where these guys are fighting for the lucky dog. You know, the cautions at the beginning of the race was around the lead, around top 5. You know, we had the big one at the start that was started in row number 2. Now we're starting to see these guys that are trying to be desperate to get back into this thing of where the cautions are coming from.
As we come around, we are on lap 46 of 65 of tonight's feature event. We still see the number 88 of Caden Tufts in the lead.
Right underneath the pace truck. He is bumping a pace truck right now.
You know, he might have a little piece of paper stuck to the grill. He's trying to use that a little bit of air pocket to get it off there. Seen that done
there you go.
a time or two.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or he's just saying, get off the track. Let me race to my win. Let's go.
Now, what I need you to do is line up behind the pace truck and hit it. Old Days of Thunder reference.
Well, the other thing with Caden now is, you know, the old saying is hit everything but the pace truck or pace car, and it looks like he's checked that one off the box tonight.
Alrighty, cars are double file again. Pace truck has its lights off. He will be diving down into the pits. Let's see what we get out of this restart. Will the outside line prevail?
Green, green, green.
It will not. Caden Tufts will have an excellent restart and lead him down into turn number 1.
Caden better not look in that rearview mirror all too much. He's got the 50 of Jeffrey Clifton trying to fight for that 3rd position.
Ken Zeems fighting with the 49 car of Nathan Bryant, trying to overtake him as we start to wind down in the closing laps of this feature event.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey, he's getting a little bit frustrated here. He knows he has the faster car right now. He knows he has fresher tires than these guys, but he just can't get there. He can't get underneath them, and that is one of the most frustrating things for a driver when you know you're faster, that you can't get around somebody.
Now, those brand new tires also come with a slight disadvantage as they are cooler than the tires he had on. So it does take a lap or two for those tires to heat up and get the proper grip that you really need as Ken Zeems completely sideways.
What a save from the 90. I spoke too soon, just like I did in practice.
All right, man,
we got a
out.
caution on the back
out.
straight away. We got a lot of cars spun around, damaged here.
Looks like the 90 car Ken Zeems will be the one to start everything off.
Stash, this is the second time that's happened to me tonight. start talking good about somebody, and next thing you know, they get involved in an accident or something bad happens to them.
Yep, it happens, buddy. Welcome to racing. Ken Zeems getting up into the wall on the exit of turn 2. It takes the 31 of Torman with him. Just a little bump to the 2 of Amir Salon, and Andrew Major gets a nice piece of Torman on the backstretch. Unfortunately, just nowhere really else to go.
You know, here I was ready to give him the Nerd TV gold medal for Save of the Year, and then that happens.
And it looks like Zeems and Andrew Major will both take the cars back to the hauler, and their night is over.
And what this actually does is this is going to line up Jeffrey Clifton right behind the 88. So we're going to see these two titans go at it here in the Martin Sports Sunday Night Modified Series. They've been really, really good. Here's another look at the accident as well. Jeffrey Clifton just underneath the 90 ever so slightly. Not sure if he drifted up a little bit, but some contact on the side of that 90 car sends him all kinds of squirrely coming off of turn number 2.
That was an incredible save coming through turn 2. Just a little snapback from those wide, grippy tires was enough to put him back into the wall again and send him right back into traffic.
We're going to have less than 10 laps to go here when we go back green. So the urgency is going to be there for these guys that want to take it to this 88 car and try to win this race. And I'm curious to see what this outside car of Nathan Bryant is going to do. I mean, we've seen the outside be pretty competitive. Now that there's some heat in that line, there's a little bit of heat in the racetrack where they've been racing. Can the 49 make it stick? We've seen Aiden Christensen. He's been way up the racetrack making lap time. So it almost seems like there is a multi-line racetrack right now. It's going to be curious to see what happens here on this restart.
I'll tell you what, coming out of 2 and 4, it appears that wall snakes up a little quicker than these drivers are anticipating. And I think that's where a lot of these accidents are happening, especially with that wall. Just a little into the throttle, and it puts them right on that edge, and they find the wall.
Yeah, the tires, they grip up on the wall, and they almost roll them over.
Track temperature down to 80 degrees. Cars are stacked 2 by 2 by 2. The lights are off on the pace truck. The 15, just a little touch in the back. Let them know, hey, I'm here. Pace truck dives down into the pits. Green flag is in the air. 88 with a fantastic jump on the restart yet again. 49 battling with the 24. And not to mention 15 of Jeffrey Clinton all wrapped up in the mix as well. We've got a battle on our hands, folks.
Yes, we do, as we've got Caden Tufts, who's starting to extend that lead out a little bit. Nathan Bryan is clear of that battle as well. Clifton in the battle with Aiden Christensen right now. Just letting these leaders go away. That's not what they want. Some contact. Jeffrey Clifton almost down into the grass.
Some safe, still running in 4th. Just a little bit of ground to make up to catch back to the 24 of Aiden Christensen. But overall, not too bad.
That's going to hurt that 15, though, with only 6 laps to go here. That's going to hurt him. You know, he's in potentially a position not to get even a podium out of this one unless he can hunt back down the 24.
The 88 car of Caden Tuff still maintaining the lead as we come around to finish lap number 60, take on lap number 61. We will have 5 to go. Nathan Bryant in the 49 car still holding a very nice second place. As the 24 drifts up just a little bit of Aiden Christensen lets the 15 car of Jeffrey Clifton back on the inside, and he will take 3rd place.
I think Christensen said, you know what, I'm going to give you this spot back. I did get into you a little bit. Didn't want to push that issue all too much when it came to that battle with the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton.
Aiden Christensen just a little loose coming out of 2 with a little bobble, but still maintaining the rear of that 15 car very well as the laps are slowly ticking away. We're on lap 63 of 65.
And as there's less cars in this race, there's less chance for a caution to stack them up again. So this is going to turn into a battle here at the front between the 88 and the 49. He's been holding true with lap time with the 88, but I don't know if he's got enough to get there and get him.
It will be. It's going to take a remarkable run, but as we come around, white flag is in the air. Last lap, 49 car of Nathan Bryant. Can he get around the 88 of Caden Tufts as they come out of turn number 2? Make a dive into 3. It will not be enough, as the 88 car of Caden Tufts will come around and take the win of tonight's feature race. Nathan Bryant in second.
Unbelievable race for that 88. I mean, he drove an amazing practice, an amazing qualifying, an amazing heat race. He had some adversity that he had to fight through during this one, being involved in that crash at the beginning of the race. He was able to fight back and come in and get that victory for that 88 of Caden Tufts.
Impressive nonetheless. Jason, would you like to run us through tonight's unofficial results brought to you by Martin Sports?
I sure will. Big thanks to Martin Sports for being out here and doing what they do for this series. We've got Caden Tufts, who comes home with the win. We saw an amazing race from that 88 car. We've got the 149 of Nathan Bryant finishing in second. Jeffrey Clifton in third. We got the 24, who he was all over the place today. He was up, down. He ends up in the 4th position here tonight. Tyler Green, who had a roller coaster of a race, he's going to bring home a top 5 for the number 5. Liam Atwood in the 4, he's going to finish in the 6th position. 7th is the 98 of Michael Newton. Then in 8th place, we have Jacob Torman. 9th place, we have Mir Salah in the 2 machine. 10th place, we have Ken Zeems in the 90. He was up there at the front for the majority of this race. Unfortunate for him tonight with 10th place finish. We've got Jerry Mitchell in 11th. We've got Andrew Major in the 12th position. Joseph Mitchell in the 13th position. Miles Morris 14th. Mark Swain in the 15th position. And that's going to round out your field for tonight, as obviously I am in the booth and Brad Carpenter did not start.
As you were going through the lineup, I noticed the 88 car of Caden Tufts taking a Polish victory lap around the track and then finishing out with a nice burnout right across the start-finish line.
And with a track this old, why not? But with that said, we've got all the racing action all done for the night. We're going to take you into the post-race podium show, where we're going to talk to our 3 top finishers for tonight's event, the Birthday Bash 65 for Evan.
And our third place finisher tonight, we've got driver of the 15 car, Mr. Jeffrey Clifton. Jeff, do you have a copy?
I do. How are you guys?
Oh,
couldn't
fine,
be doing
Jeff.
any better, buddy.
We just saw you drive a heck of a race, so walk us through just the roller coaster race that you had.
It was just that. It was a roller coaster. I don't know what happened on that first caution. I'll have to go back and look at it, but if I got up into miles there, I apologize for that. Like I said, I don't really know what happened there. All I know is I got hooked, and there was nothing I could do about it. And man, it was just, that was a wild race for me. But I'm glad we could pull out a podium, and we'll just go into next week. I have a pretty substantial points lead. I don't think there's any scenario in which I can't lock this championship up now, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I do believe you're right, Jeffrey. I think that as you go into the next few races, you can breathe a sigh of relief that the points gap that you had created to everybody is going to be enough for that championship. Walk us through the final restarts there. We saw you get fresh tires. Was that a strategy call to try to just get that tire advantage to help you work your way up to the field? And did that seem to help you as the race went on?
Well, when I got my lap back, when you're the lucky dog, they start you at the back of the field automatically. So I figured, might as well just go ahead and put some tires on it since I'm going to start in the back anyway. And then I just kind of, my plan was to just try to stay out of trouble and keep it in one piece so that I had a car to try to finish well towards the end. And it worked out pretty well for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a P3 podium finish after the race that you had, I mean, that's got to feel good. It feels good to come away with the championship, getting enough points to really solidify that for yourself. Stash, do you have anything you want to ask Mr. Clifton here, our third place finisher?
I have no questions for you. However, that was an insane battle, and just coming up through the field the way you did, congratulations, man. You did a fantastic job.
I appreciate it.
And Jeff, you obviously probably have some people you want to have a shout out to. This is your time. Give a shout out to whoever you'd like, whoever makes it happen for you on a week by week basis here in the Modified Series.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, like every time I come in here and do this, I thank you guys first for putting on the broadcast because I really enjoy watching them after the race, and I think you guys do a really good job. And without you guys, we wouldn't have anything to, provide people to watch. And you guys have your sponsors. I believe Martin Sports is the main sponsor of this league, so obviously we have to thank them because without them, this really wouldn't even be a thing right now. And Evan, he's always got his hands full every week. I know what that's like, so really appreciative of all the work that he puts into it, and I think he does a really good job. So we'll go into next week and close this out.
We appreciate your time, Jeff, after that race. Congratulations on the podium finish, P3 on the night. We'll see you in the next one, and I guess you can start calling yourself the champion.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Alrighty, we'll bring in our second place finisher, the number 149 car of Nathan Bryant. Nathan, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
10th to second place tonight. What an absolute ride it's been. I believe you are tonight's big mover. How are you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I was given an EOL at the beginning because it's my first race with the league. So I actually started dead last. So dead last, second, not too bad.
Yeah,
not bad at all. The car looked really good. Walk us through your race from beginning to end.
The beginning, my plan was just to sit back and relax, but obviously we had that wreck, and I went from 17th or 18th to 5th. So after that, it was just kind of easy sailing. I actually had Caden in front of me basically the whole time, so just following his line and learning off what he did. I think if I had a couple more laps, I might have got him, but great race by him.
Yeah, Nathan, I mean, what do you think that you could have done a little different in those last laps? We saw you trying to search around a little bit, trying to find that little extra speed to get you up to the 88, and it seemed to be working in those final laps. What did you find there? What do you think you could have adjusted a little bit to maybe get to him before that checkered flag flew tonight?
Honestly, I think if I had a couple more laps, if we had the last caution earlier, because it seemed on longer runs that for some reason through 1 and 2, I was gaining on him. So I think just luck of the draw if we would have had a yellow a little bit earlier. Other than that, I mean, Caden's car was just hooked up.
And last thing here, Nathan, you must have some sponsors, some people you want to shout out to. You're here on our podium show. To all our viewers, you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, everybody on my car, Thermofoams, Hain Supply, Buffalo Concrete, Maconey Setup Shop, Don's Welding. I'm sure there's others I can't remember. And shout out to Sean for watching this.
Well, buddy, it was a heck of a race. You raced an awesome race. We'll see you next week at South Boston, and maybe you can get up on that first place for next week's race. But congratulations today on a podium and a P2.
Yep, thank you guys, and thank you guys for doing what you do here.
Absolutely. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we will get our first place finisher tonight, Mr. Caden Tufts. Caden, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
You seem like you're always in here.
What a race it has been. Caden, what are you feeling right now, buddy?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, we came in here pretty strong, ended up winning our heat race. Inverted 5. We were involved in that wreck that happened between Jeff and I. I'm not sure who the other person was. Don't really remember, but we ended up taking the faster pair. I was hoping we wouldn't get involved in anything else, but we didn't. So that's a win for us. What's his name? Nathan. He was pretty quick. I seen him coming on that final restart. I definitely had him in my mind. I seen him coming on that last 2 laps. I was like, he's probably going to move me here, but we ended up making it clean through 3 and 4, and ended up taking the victory.
Yeah, you definitely seem like you had a car that nobody could touch. We were talking about you all the way through practice, qualifying, and that heat race about how you were a really strong car tonight. And of course, I had to take you as my pick in practice. So I guess that's 1 point for me, I guess. But walk us through your race. You had that crash at the beginning. What was your mindset throughout the rest of the race? Was it, I need to race conservative because I've used my faster pair? Or was it, you know what? I'm here to race. I'm here to win. I'm going to go up through the field, and I'm going to go win this dang thing.
It was a little bit of both. I mean, the first bit, I was like, just make our way up through the field, nice and easy, keep out of the way of contact. And once when we got up to that 3rd position behind Aiden, I knew we had something going, but I mean, he's a good guy to race against. I mean, we just had a pretty good restart on that top side. I mean, the top side is pretty quick through 1 and 2 on the restarts, but after that, it seems to fall off. But I mean, we ended up getting back to the lead, and then I think there was another couple cautions. And then I was hoping it would go green because we had a pretty decent lead to the field, and then a caution came out, and then I was just in for the ride for the rest of the race.
And on top of winning the race, I saw that nice trademark on top with the Polish victory lap, and then burning it down across the start-finish line. Just a nice touch to the win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what I do. I do the Polish victory lap. I mean, it's usually my thing in iRacing. I forgot about it for a bit yesterday. I was doing it in another league. It was exact same car, same track. Pit stall short track series. That was the other league I run with Jeff. I ended up winning that one. I was going to do the Polish victory lap, and then the league owner decided to give me a little scare, and he said I'd get a 2-lap black flag if I went backwards, so I ended up having to turn it around, and he said I wanted to listen to the league owner, so I mean, it's nice to actually complete the lap this time, so.
Yeah, there you go. Style points.
Yep.
But, P1, what a race. I mean, you drove an unbelievable race. It was really a treat to watch here up in the booth. You must have some people that you want to thank, throw a shout out to. I mean, this is your time, and who does it for you? Who makes it happen on Sundays for you?
The main reason I'm here is because my dad. I mean, he bought me the sim and all that. I'm trying to learn a little more about the real world racing on the sim, and hopefully we can probably do a little more on the sim. It definitely helps in the real world, that's for sure. I'd like to thank Bradwater Mortgages, Factory S Motorsports, Bradwater Mortgages, I already said that one, Timberley Beverage Room, LBT Pallets, Guys with Transfer, BSRM Factory Team, Aiden Christensen, he's my buddy of mine. Campbell, he wasn't able to make it. He had other family activities. Aiden McDonald, he was here, but a little problem happened, and yeah, thank you guys for putting this on.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the shout out for us there, and congratulations on the win. I mean, such a strong car every week, and we'll see you in South Boston for the final race of the season.
Sounds good. See you guys soon, hopefully.
That was our winner, Caden Tufts, in that 88 machine, super strong tonight. Stash, I mean, what a race.
Without a doubt, a lot had went on over the course of those 65 short laps. Just little bit of chaos. We saw the big one early, a couple small wrecks through here and there, a lot of lucky dog passes tonight.
A lot of Stay Tuned
Surprising to see.
podcast. A lot of Stay Tuned
And
podcast shoutouts.
Just pure awesomeness out of these guys. I'm at a loss for words. Tonight was one hell of a race.
I mean, we saw a little bit of everything, right? We saw the big one. We saw guys drive up from the back of the pack. I mean, heck, we even saw some pit stops tonight. That is not something I would have thought I would have saw tonight in a modified series with some pit stops, but what a race. And, we go into that final race next week at South Boston Speedway. Jeff's got enough points here. Nobody's going to be able to touch him. He is the champion, so he can breathe a sigh of relief for next week. I mean, the league's been great all season long. These guys put on a show, and they definitely did that for us tonight. Definitely kept us entertained, Stash.
100%. All right.
Before we sign off for the night, we just want to say thanks again to all the people that make it happen on our behalf here. All of our drivers had some people that they shout out to at the end of their race. Well, at the end of our broadcast, we have some people as well. Our first one here is the Martin Sports guys over at martinsports906.com. These guys make awesome products, race gloves, jerseys, everything like that. Without them, this series wouldn't be a thing. And Martin Sports, you're probably going to see their logo pop up all over the place within the next near future here, because these guys are going places. They make a quality product. They're run by an amazing group of people. And if you want to get a piece of Martin Sports merchandise or something for yourself, especially their race gloves, I mean, Stash can attest, their race gloves are second to none. Use the promo code SUPERNERD. You get 25% off. That's a huge discount just for using that promo code SUPERNERD. I mean, you can't go wrong on that one. Then we have Admin Box. These guys, they make the HID controller for all these guys that put on leagues and need those admin controls to make it run a little bit, more seamless. It can be difficult if you don't have it. So if you run a league and you want something you can program, and it's just a plug and play system. I mean, that says it for me right there. If I can plug something in and it's just going to work, I'm going to buy it. So these guys, they make a beautiful product that can help you run your league or your hosted sessions with touches of buttons. It's an amazing product, so check them out. And then we saw these guys quite a bit today. We had a lot of lucky dogs, and of course, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast was the sponsor there. They gave a lot of shout outs to them tonight. They're a podcast. They were started in 2016. Two guys, two friends. They just wanted to produce a sports show, and I'll tell you what they have. They have delivered a sports show unlike any other. These guys cover all your major sports with a little bit of comedy. I mean, just like here on Nerd TV, you want to throw a little bit of comedy in there to keep people laughing. They cover everything from NFL, NHL, MLB, NBA, college football, and they also, unlike a lot of other sports podcasts, they'll cover combat news from UFC, Bellator, and bare knuckle boxing. I mean, that really sets them aside from other sports podcasts. So give them a listen. Check those guys out. Those guys are great. I mean, they put on a great show. They keep you laughing, and they give you the information that you want on your sport that you like. And then the guys that make it happen for us here at Nerditudes. We got iRacing iFlag. Now, these guys, we get a promo code for them too. It's SuperNerd for 15% off. If you're wondering what the product they give you is, well, have you ever been racing and you think your spotter was a little bit off? Well, I'll tell you what. These guys make a beautiful product you can set up on your sim rig that gives you a visual cue of where a car is. If a caution comes out, you can set one up on the right and left of you, and if a car is on the right, it'll light up. There's nothing better than having an auto cue and a visual cue for these guys. They're bright. They really will help you when you're racing. I mean, it's a great product. These guys, it's 64 light emitting diode LED matrix that displays these flags. I mean, these things are top of the line. They make them to last, and they make them so that you're gonna be better with racing these. And like I said, the promo code SuperNerd, 15% off. You can't go wrong. Go give those guys a check out. iRacingIFlag.com. Go order yours today. And then we have Butt Kicker. These guys, in a real car, they feel it through the seat. They feel the track through the seat. These guys at Butt Kicker make it so you feel it in your sim sitting in, which is my basement right now. Your sim could be anywhere, garage, basement, bedroom. These guys will bring the feel of the racetrack to you in your seat. You got a promo code for them, which is 20% off for the Butt Kicker. And I'll tell you what, it makes a world of difference. Slap that thing on your sim and you will feel the difference in the seat. You'll be like you're driving a real race car. Go to thebuttkicker.com and order yours today. Like I said, use that promo code NerdTV for 20% off and get yourself one of these Butt Kickers to help you out in your racing. With that said, Stash, I think we're going to sign off for the night here. We got South Boston next week. We saw a great race tonight. What are your final thoughts?
Man, like I said earlier, tonight was a fantastic race. These guys are putting in a hell of a lot of work, and they're doing a fantastic job. Evan is doing a great job taking this league to where it's going, and I can't wait. Season finale, it's going to be a big one.
You want to win that finale.
Yep.
But on behalf of myself, thanks for trying, and Stash here at Nerd TV, we appreciate all you viewers for coming out and watching this broadcast tonight. If you're watching in the future, thanks for checking us out. Give us a subscribe or a follow and help us out. And we hope to see you in the next one, which is going to be the season finale at South Boston. You won't want to miss it. Check it out on Nerd TV next Sunday.